Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. This is going to be a thrift haul video. Not too big, not too small, but just right. Like the 3 bears and the porridge, the bed, and the chair. Just right. I have so little room around me that I just basically piled everything up here, and I'll be removing things one by one as I show them to you. Now, I have said on more than one occasion that I don't know how to crochet, but very soon I will be getting some personalized lessons. So I went to Walmart today after I had done an errand, and I'm telling you, could anyone have picked better colors for me? This is what I mean when I say I love jewel tones. So purple, turquoise, a dark blue, a kind of a fuchsia, burgundy. It's like they might as well put my name on it. So I picked up a ball of this. I think it might be, it might even be the right size that was recommended. So there's that. Okay, now the question will be, where do I put these things? I don't suppose you've ever seen paper bags before. I was at a thrift store. Now, that number on there refers to pounds. So this is an 8-pound bag. Roughly, well, just about 12.5 inches tall and 6 inches wide. So there are lots here. I, of course, can use these for journal covers. And for the time being, I'll just add them to my bag collection, my growing bag collection. Whoopsie. I have been, just on a unrelated note, I've been working my butt off on those baby girl journals. So I did that for a few hours last night. I did say, did I say? In some recent video, I did tell you that my daughter got engaged. And of course, when you go to thrift stores, you begin to see things that may come in handy. Now, I'm hoping when we get together on Father's Day that maybe, can tease a little more information out of them. This is a package of table tent cards. So, they fold and they stand up, and it only goes up to 12 tables. I have no idea, but I picked them up thinking, let me just say, as my daughter has, or as my kids, I guess, have gotten older, it's harder and harder to buy things that they want or approve of. So I don't want to keep buying things that I end up getting stuck with. But in this case, I'm okay with that because it is a paper product, and if it isn't needed, for whatever, I can certainly use it. So this whole thing, including the base, is over 13 inches. So, if this, and I probably can't see that, but there's a score line there. And if this part got, like, those could be little mini journal covers. So I felt I could spring $2 for that. I don't know what this is. Paid $1 for it. The woman there had no idea. Now I don't have any additional lights on today. I thought I saw part of a word on here. I can't make out what that is. Anyway, I thought, let me get this masking tape off here. I thought that if I ever wanted to, there's no clue on here whatsoever. But I should let this relax and straighten out. I thought that if I wanted to, it could end up being used almost like a leather spine type effect. This thing is, where's my line there? Yeah, it's 3 inches wide. So, you know, depending on how big the actual spine itself was, it might be nice. And that might be a possibility for my black and white journal when I get to it. So let me put that aside. I tend to like to pick up these chipboard book kits. Oh, and I have to say, as I didn't think of doing this in this, maybe I did do it a bit in the store, but certainly since I got it home and took it out of the bag, I have been making myself look at country of origin. And in, well, virtually every case, it's made in China. So I wonder, the problem, and I don't know that anyone has ever offered me a solution in the comments, if you happen to know the answer. By the way, I haven't lately, well, I haven't done videos for a long time, or recently, I mean. If you are a new subscriber, a returning subscriber, I'm so glad you're here. And if you are a smart cookie and know why sometimes these things get warped, tell me that too. Like, this is perfect as it is. So essentially 2 covers and 3 pages. So that's easy peasy. And I like the idea that it looks like a little handbag. Maybe I'll put this back in here. I don't know if that helps keep it from warping or what the deal is. I can throw that away. Okay, what next? This is, well, I guess I don't need to remove that. It says warm blend, 50% bleached cotton fibers and 50% polyester fibers. The perfect blended batting for quilting, crafting, and wearable arts. Now, nowhere on here could I find dimensions. I mean, it does feel very cushy. Oh, so there'd be enough here for 2 journals. Now, I probably should have saved the $2 and walked away. A little soiled there. Because I have batting that I haven't used. Like, when I first fell into this whole bookmaking business, a lot of the people that I saw in the beginning, like Nick the Booksmith, you know, obviously in some styles of journals she was using batting under fabric and over whatever the harder, firmer substrate was. So I need to give that a shot. I just need to, I just need the time to get there. Okie dokie. Oh, wasn't this a steal of a deal? $2. This is very bright gold, bright brass bulb pins. But I'm sure that I could, if I wanted to knock back the color, I could use alcohol ink, I'm sure. So that's not an issue. That just seems like an incredible price to me. Okay. One of the babies that I'm working on, one of the baby books I'm working on, the mother was a ballerina. So I thought, well, here's a little ballerina. I should actually see what this is. There's not much description. Oh, this was made in Taiwan. And it's funny, you know, even some of the big names that are charging big bucks, they're all using made in China stuff. So well, this is metal. So I guess you just push out these things, kind of like, these? Oh, they're just flat little notes. I thought they might have been brads, but they're not. So anyway, I can find some way to use these. Dance, ballerina, perfect, let's dance, dance with me, and the little kid. I mean the little girl and the 2 ballet slippers. So I thought that was kind of good timing. In that particular family, okay, so that's baby number 3. In that particular family, I guess the father is a chemist. So far I haven't thought really hard or long about, you know, how I could work that in. 50 cents for this little package. 16 count of, oh, see, the back is not so great. Sometimes you just need a little touch of masculinity. Like if, for instance, if I had to do a boy journal, would I have any little boy stuff? Maybe not. Okay, well, this would be cute. Well, like with the little checkered flags and the little roadway. But again, the actual car thing is just on one quadrant. But for 50 cents, I can make that work. Oh, I also I have a million crochet hooks that belong to my mom and probably my aunt, because they did, you know, decades worth of crocheting, but they're really fine, delicate doily making. They didn't use yarn, they used crochet cotton. So anyway, it seems like a good starting size for what I will be learning is a 5. And this is a 3-pack. Got this at Walmart. 4, 5, and 5.5 millimeters. And this was the more affordable option than, you know, buying 3 separate hooks. And who knows, I may not even be able to learn how to crochet, so that could be wasted money. I don't think I have much in the way of purple gems. So for $1, I don't know, that's probably no better than the dollar store, but anyway, I bought it. Found this ratty-tatty stencil. I did a video on using these stencils, but you know, you gotta love a vintage stencil. And this pouch that it came in. Made in USA. Oh, that's a keeper then, isn't it? But look what a cool bag that is. Okay. Now, I have never used this is called a push mold. Again, I thought I could experiment for $1. Yes, of course, made in China. So there are some instructions, which is always a pleasant surprise. Now, I do have some air dry clay, as long as it's not dried up already. It's never been opened. See, it doesn't say what kind of clay to use. So this will be a bit of, I guess, experimentation. But for $1, I figured it could work. Now those molds, I don't know what this stuff is made of. I doubt that it's silicone for that price. $2002. It doesn't say it's food safe. I could melt some chocolate and put it in there. Do you remember when using chocolate molds was the thing? We sold that in our store. Anyway, there was this kit. They called it a bookmark kit. So all of these tassels and all of these, it's like balsa wood, I would say, with a pre-drilled hole. So, I mean, my first thing would be to either put napkins or decoupage some other sort of paper on there. You know, something thin and lightweight, like gift wrap or tissue or something like that. And then, of course, these guys will join my tassel collection. So I didn't pay very much for that, so I thought it was worth picking up. This is a little bag. This cost me $1.50. The reason I bought it, normally I really I don't have much use for elastic, but because this is kind of fancy and colored, I thought, well, why couldn't a person use this, you know, even as a closure? Did the purple, you know, push me over the edge? Perhaps. So black, brown, purple, and kind of metallic-y blue. Okay, what should I show you next? And the thing is, in this store, all this stuff was jumbled into, you know, plastic or wicker bins. And, you know, they're a foot deep or so, so things are, you know, just crammed in there, crammed into a corner. So not only was it hard to get at and hard to see, but I'm casting a shadow and blocking the light, so it's a dark corner that's hard to get to. So then I just rearranged something with the kids' stuff that was nearby, and decided that I would take those bins out one by one and actually be able to see what I was looking for or at. And nobody stopped me, and I actually did, you know, a bit of, I don't want to say I did some merchandising for them, but I certainly cleaned up the display a bit. You know, sometimes, and I understand that people are volunteers and whatever, but honestly, sometimes I think sales would improve in these places if they just did a wee bit more, you know, took a little extra care. Make it easy for customers to see what's going on. Don't make us have to fight, because sometimes we're not going to bother. Okay, so you saw that was a brand new package of Justice League. Oh, why is this different? Oh, they folded it the other way so you could see what the inside was like. Like, I don't know who all these guys are. I know Batman and Superman, of course. But again, it's one of those things. The colors are so bright. If a person needed some masculine stuff for, I think she charged me $2. It didn't have a price on it. And, you know, I like the way they just assume that you're going to buy it regardless of what they tell you. But in this case, I know, well, what can you get for $2? You can't buy coffee, God knows. I also picked these up. No, there are only 2 in there, but it says handmade for my special little boy. I didn't realize it said my special little boy. 50 cents. So I thought those were cute. I will keep this with the baby stuff as opposed to the, where I've got my other, you know, clothing labels. I'm surrounded by baby stuff. Okay, what else? This, now okay, that's a Dollarama tag. It says masking tape, but do they really mean washi tape? Great for decorating scrapbook pages, greeting cards, and other craft projects. So I'm sure they mean washi. 50 cents. So I thought that was a cute little, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Springy, happy kind of thing. So I'll add that to my washi. I'm not sure what this is. It says Laura Ashley. Now, are these magnets? Again, made in our... Oh, yeah, it says magnets right there. I didn't realize that's what it was, but I thought they were cute. And because they are, you know, decorative, intricate little patterns, I like them. And, of course, they could just be glued down to something as well. If I could get it out of the bag. If I could get it out of the bag. Yeah, so see, those are kind of pretty, I thought. Even if I just stick them on my filing cabinet. Okay, what else? This cost 50 cents and it's called scrap metal. Oh, adhesive frame. So that maybe means that, okay, Monday's child is fair face and Monday's metal shares exchange, blah, blah, blah. Made in China. This one, oh, Pressed Petals, I guess is the company name. Oh, so that does not, so that's like a sticky thing at the back. So a person could mount something in that sort of recessed space there. And this, of course, can be reused. So let's throw, no, we put this here. We throw this in the garbage. We throw this in the garbage. And we put this over here. This, supposedly, well, not supposedly, these, I guess they're, well, it says 4 dies in there. So it looks like they would make these mini banners and pendants. So let's see. How teeny tiny are they? Oh, not that tiny. See, I thought, well, again, they don't, did they give dimensions and I just didn't read it? No, they didn't. I thought they were going to be smaller than this. So, obviously a 2-piece system here. So that's cool. I store my dies on little sheets of magnets, so that's kind of cool. Okay, we'll get to this in a minute. So this is, now I don't even know how well these things work. You know, they're sort of like an imitation Post-it, but they sort of have a travel theme. So there is a mini postcard. There's a bit of a map of Europe there and a tiny little space to write something there. So many uses. How do you get in there? And then on this back side, more, oh, that's all up. I thought it was 3 different things, but it's actually one big thing. And the brand is Color Box. Or Balk. Color Balk. K, well, color and then B-O-K. Oh, this is like a ticket. An oversized ticket. Oh, these are different. Oh, and they're, well, that's pretty darn good. That's better than I thought. Okay, so this is like a cardstock weight. Oh, and it's just the fact it's glued together like a little notepad. Sticky journal stacks. And this is the travel version. 36 sheets, 9 designs. Oh, so these are different too. And okay, well, that's cool. Happy about that. Throw that away. See, and the minute I throw something away, that's why it goes, I'm never able to tell you anything about what it was or where it came from. This looks as old as the hills. Now, I just noticed when I got home, there's only a yard in here. But the part that the reason I picked this up in two colors, yellow and this blue, is this part here is Aida cloth. That could be cross-stitched. So how cool would it be if a person was doing a baby book and then put the kid's name or initials? I thought that was pretty, well, it doesn't even have to be a baby book. And then this one has, oh, jeez, just about broke my finger. Oh, I thought it was yellow. It's just that packaging. So this is just a neutral. Now, there happen to be a lot of cross-stitch kits, tiny ones. And the price was okay. And I thought, oh, wouldn't some of my people like to buy those at a live sale? Because I sold a number of those small kits before Christmas, because they were, I think, yeah, they were all Christmas themed, and you could make a card out of them, greeting card out of them. So the actual amount to cross stitch wasn't very much. Anyway, so of course I would have bought many. And then I had the foresight to look at country of origin, and I bought none. There were a couple I wouldn't have minded doing myself, but I'm thinking, okay, who are you kidding? You're not going to cross stitch. But I did buy these two. Okay. Now, Seven Gypsies. I'm thinking, oh, that's a North American brand. No, it's not. Well, I guess it's based in Los Angeles. However, made in China. But I bought it because for 75 cents, I would like to make little matchboxes. Matchbox. So the kits are identical, and I want to do that. So ask me how that's coming. This is also a Seven Gypsies thing. Now, of course, I said, so is that 25 cents? That's not our tag. So they charged me 75 cents. I think, well, it's obvious that these, now that I'm looking at it better, that these are Rolodex things. Now, it's very difficult to tell from the back of this. So you managed to create so many special trading cards that it's time for a refill. Oh, they misspelled refill. Well, these cards are the same size and shape as those that come with, oh my God, the grammar is terrible, made in China, that come with, period. The ATCs, yeah. Anyway, look at how cool these little designs are. So even if a person, I don't know if this would fit my Rolodex or not, but even if the spacing was all wrong, cut that part off and you've got just a, how big is this anyway? Well, width, including the notch side, 2.5 inches by 3 and almost 3 3/4. So I don't know how that fits with ATC size, but cute little papers. And there's some packaging that could be reused. Okay. Way back when we had our store, this was a hang tag and a brand and a product that we carry. Now, these are iron-on dimensional velour designs. This one is clowns, and I thought, again, I got babies on the mind. So I thought, even if, although I guess these things are inert and can't spoil, even if I can't iron them on to something, I could certainly fussy cut around them, because it's not, that wouldn't be hard at all. Or cut them and keep the blue background. But I just thought that was pretty darn cute. $2. add it to the baby pile. Oh, I also picked up this spoon. There was a cute little brass spoon and fork, you know, baby sized, very flourishy, that I thought, oh, wouldn't that be cool to use on the cover of a baby book, you know, as part of a journal topper. This says Lucky Charms, but I thought this was kind of cute. You know, again, 50 cents versus $3 to maybe work into a topper type arrangement. Now, it's probably not going to work with the covers that I have going, but I can keep that for... Now, this says 4 ribbons, $4. And at first I thought, oh, somebody wrapped, you know, ribbons on these things. But then I see that each one has its own wrapper, made in China. And it seems to be on, which will show you the best, on these cute little spools. So I need ribbon like I need a lobotomy, but the spools are pretty cute because a person could put short snippet rolls on them. That's why I bought these. This could go in the Peacock Journal. And these, I don't know. Anyway, that was the method to the madness there. Found a Tim Holtz brand new stamp set. This one is called The Journey, 2009. So this is pretty darn old. So little old truck, corner flourish, arrows, enjoy the journey, a ticket, a clock face, an old car, some scripty thing. Okay, time is a companion that goes with us on the journey. It reminds us to cherish each moment because it will never come again. What we leave behind is not as important as how we have lived. Oh, right on. And that last one is New York Central System Conductor's Cash Fare Receipt. I guess I'm going to have to finish going through my stamps, look long and hard. Made in the U.S. I could actually resell this if I chose to, and I wouldn't have to give up my firstborn child to do so. I'm going to ponder this because if I have enough similar things, I don't need to add more stamps to my collection. Okay, maybe let's show you this. Now, these things I thought were pretty attractively priced. $2. First of all, now this cord on this orange one is long enough that I could wear it as a crossbody. So it's got, and it's lined, it's got this compartment. Oh, that stitching needs a little something there. Because that's a point of stress, of course. So there's that. There's this on the back side, and then this center compartment. Because, you know, when you go garage sailing or you go to, you know, an antique, you know, sidewalk sale or something, honestly, a purse, even if you strip down all the spare lipsticks and pens and keys, it still gets to be a bit much. And of course, I love this one too, although why anyone would put a brown button on there is beyond me. But I may have a button or two I could change out. So I'm going to test myself. Let's see if before this summer's over, if I actually use them. And if not, this could easily be a journal conversion. So this could be a pocket. This could be a Velcro pocket. That could be hold the signature, and then there's another pocket here. And this side is useless. And then it would have a self-tie. So Anyway, I thought those were pretty darn cute and cool. And then this one is different, and I actually had someone in mind when I bought this, again, to convert into a journal. And you know, when you think about it, this one was $3. So there's this thing, this hardware. Somebody obviously made this, so there are all these pockets. There's a zipper compartment. Here's another pocket. I think this is supposed to, you know, it got creased in the store. But anyway, that should be down. More of those. Something here. And then it closes. And again, a self tie. So I just can't tell you how tactile these things are. And right within 4 feet of me is a basket overflowing with other little pouches and wallets and things like that that I want to convert into covers. Okay, we're almost done. That is done. Now this was like, well, I don't know how it was. This box is only a cover, like there is no, or maybe it just had one of those cellophane things. I have no, it says Barefoot Venus. Beautiful box. No idea what this is from, what this is supposed to be. I couldn't fold it up properly in the store. Now there must have been cards, because these are all envelopes, but look at how cool they are. And lots of them. Now, I don't know what this is supposed to be. These things don't fit together like you would expect. You know, typically, one of these should be twisted in order for that to actually work the way I think it should. This has a fold in it. Is it some, maybe it's just supposed to be a box. Holy cow. Look at the kid problem solving right before your very eyes. Well, that doesn't go that way. Okay, this is an IQ test, and I have a hunch I'm going to fail. Well, what? Oh, and then this is the cover, maybe. Okay, let's pretend this was all neat and tidy. This, oh, holy cow, I'm kind of impressed with myself. Because I surely could not figure this out in the store. And of course, they were a bit owly there, so there was nobody to ask. Oh, but put that, sorry for all the ruckus, but I'm kind of excited about this. But you know, I thought that all the pieces were, I thought that there were pieces missing, and clearly whatever went with those cards is missing. You sure have to do this in the right order, it's not going to work. Get that under there. I really thought that I would be, well, see, now I need to do this last side, but you get the idea. This will go underneath there. I just have to get it under the flap. Well, I guess I should just quickly do it. Well, it's not going to work that easily. Anyway, I won't force this. But what I really thought was, if I can't figure it out, let's pretend that side is closed. You got a box. I can't believe that. Damn cool box, too. Oh, and a peacock. What I really thought I would end up having to do is just cut these things into pieces and use all these sides. You know, use this side, cut it like so. What does that say? Om, something Padma, hum. Are we supposed to be chanting? Anyway, I have to say, I can't believe I did that. You know, there are some of those mind teaser puzzles that a person isn't. Okay, this I thought was pretty cool. What these guys are, I have no idea. But I thought, couldn't those be cool as on, you know, well, wherever. Okay, how does this go? It almost looks like, I didn't see this before because I never opened this before. But there is this little thing here. Anyway, all I could think about was, well, number one, they could be painted. But they could be, because they're fairly flat, I thought they could be journal toppers. Looks like they're climbing a wall or under arrest, one or the other. Yeah, these guys have all been arrested. Put your hands up. So 4 guys have been arrested, and the others are scaling the wall to escape. Yes. I thought they were in different poses. Maybe this isn't quite as appealing as I thought. I mean, these... Now I've planted this under arrest idea in my mind. I won't be able to dislodge it. Anyway, I have something antique, well, antique or vintage to show you. I went to an antique store the other day. I hadn't heard that the lady is planning to close because of health issues, that she has listed her business for sale. And she's been really good to me. I mean, I've spent a few bucks there, but she's always given me bulk deals and so on. These things are tobacco silks. Now, I'm not going to take them out of the packages. You can see they're relatively small, so 2 inches by about 3 inches. They're fabric. Now, well, that's not what I paid. So these small ones are all priced at $7 each. These apparently were like a gift with purchase in tobacco packages way back when they were trying to, well, I guess, get more people to smoke and also give the little woman a little something. So, presumably, I would think more men were smoking, but the little woman got the bonus little piece of fabric, and of course, tough times. So the resourceful woman would, you know, use these kinds of things in crafting and, you know, sew them together or whatever to make, you know, like a cushion cover or whatever. So, okay, Greenland, I don't know why Greenland gets a muskox, but they do. Algiers, Egypt, New Zealand, Eastern Morning, or I don't know what that says. I don't know what that place is. I think some of these are so, okay, Nicaragua, Uruguay twice, U.S. of Colombia. I don't know what that means either. Anyway, these were not that, you know, my first choice. However, once before in an auction, as an auction lot, I bought a number that were bigger, like 5 by 7, 4 by 6, something like that. And they were flags. And I've had them in my Etsy shop, and I think I might be down to the last one. Now, this one is the president of China. There's no escaping him or China. But anyway, she had done some research. So this is 1920s Wan Shi Kai Imperial Tobacco. This one is valued at $75. I guess because of its rarity or something. So I guess I'll be holding on to this until this tariff thing works itself out. Although if it was Imperial Tobacco, I'm sure they were US based. So I don't know. Honestly, she threw these into the deal. And these were the ones that I wanted, really, because they're so beautiful. Phlox. Okay, so there are 2 phlox. Well, when I get to a more vibrant one, I'll take it out of the package. Daisies. Daisy. Hollyhocks. Orchids. Carnations. Morning glories. Heliotrope. Okay, let's take this one out. Is that not the cutest little thing you ever seen? It's got a little, I wonder, oh yeah, they do have numbers on them. Anyway, the thing that she had on her wall in a frame was this size of imagery, or maybe a titch smaller, maybe a titch smaller. But it was framed, and it was priced at $250. Well, the thing that made it unique is that they had never been cut up. So they must have been printed, you know, like on a big piece of fabric. Now, I don't know if these are called tobacco silks, but are they really silk? I don't know that I can tell just by feeling it. It is, you know, it could very well be. Anyway, the reason that one is so very pricey is because it was never cut. Uncut, and I think there were 55 different soldiers, you know, and very attractive. I think that was 1920s also. Pond lilies. Forget-me-nots. Now, I might have a few of these small floral ones from before, because of course I kept them for myself. Poppies, so glad to have poppies. Okay, these are the same 5-2. So clearly to me, there's a color difference. That one looks more peachy. This one looks more pinky. So I'll have to find my floral ones. But yeah, that was attractive. But again, what would I have done with soldiers? So orchids, geranium, fuchsia, sunflower, violets, pansies, and sweet peas. So I'm going to have to figure out, well, they're not marked with country of origin, so that's a problem. So either sell them to Canadians and not trigger tariffs, or hold on to them in the hope that, you know, something changes someday. Or sew myself a cushion cover. The most expensive cushion cover in the world. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed seeing that. I just love these little flowers. I suppose worst case scenario, if I came up with a project that materially changed them, then I could probably sell them without a tariff issue. Oh, you know, it's just hitting me. And I should Why am I putting you through this? But okay, I should find the ones that have duplicates. I think I saved a poppy from before, so let's maybe put the poppies over here. Wouldn't it be absolutely gorgeous? There were 3 of these. To work these little pieces of art into some slow stitching projects. And there were 2 of these. So if a person, well, let's just say, did something like that, maybe with the orangey one, work this into some slow stitching. This is kind of an eyesore to me. Sorry for yellow lovers out there. It's just so, but of course, I could make it work depending on what surrounds it. I've also been racking my brains, wondering what I'm going to take on the Alaskan cruise, because I'm so looking forward to just doing nothing. By that, I mean, you know, when you get away from home, none of the jobs around you can call your name. So from that sense, you know, you leave everything behind. Of course, I'll have to work my butt off like crazy to get enough videos done and scheduled. But I was leaning towards slow stitching simply because there are so few supplies needed. You know, you put it in a soft, crushable, you know, tote or drawstring bag or whatever, and, you know, cram it into your suitcase and you're, you know, you're okay. But now, of course, I would have to, well, I won't take any more of your time pondering. Obviously, this idea just popped into my head. I will, no doubt, prepare something. I also watched Brenda do her version of a lace snippet roll, and I like the simplicity of how she does it. So it could also be one of those things where, what did I say? These are 3 inches tall. Work them into snippet rolls too. But because these are, you know, she tends to price lower than the market. So if each one of these sells for $7, that quickly pushes up the cost of what the finished product would be should I choose to sell it. And if I don't sell it, anyway, I don't know. I gotta think. Okay, I'm going to stop there because, well, I don't want you to be able to smell the gears in my brain smoking and grinding. So let's just say that once I figure out what I'm going to take and assemble my kit of, you know, either fabrics or whatever, I think the smartest thing to do would be, well, to decide what is it that I'm doing. Am I doing a snippet roll? Am I doing something that is big enough to be a journal cover? I have done those in the past. Once I figure that part out, I will do a video to show you what things I've pulled together and why. And I would also probably do a video on those, those first steps, the laying out of the materials. Obviously, no slow stitching on camera because that would be insanity. Okay, I gotta go back to the drawing board. In the meantime, thank you so much for being here. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so much for taking the leap and hitting that button. I love to hear your comments. I always reply to comments. I've gotten, you know, it's taken me a few days recently to do it because of everything else that's going on. However, I do read them, I do answer them, so I very much appreciate when you take the time to write to me. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.